What's up, YouTube? This is Xander Bennett of the Rare Candy here with a deck profile for one of the decks that I have just done for our Testing Ground series. It is Naganadel Stakataka. Sorry that these took a little bit longer to get up. I'm going through a sore throat, and I thought that if it was going to go away that I might just be able to give you guys a better quality, but it wasn't, so just going to go ahead and put this out for you. This deck was really cool, and I think it solves a lot of the issues that the Naganadel Buzzwold deck had that did not take off super well. So let's go ahead and start with the deck. Overall, the main Pokemon line is a 4-3 Naganadel GX. The main attack that we're going to be using here is Beast Raid, 20 times the number of Ultra Beasts you have in play for 1 energy. This is really easy to enable because basically every other Pokemon that we run in the deck except Lele is an Ultra Beast. The rest of the text on the card is not super relevant. I guess you can possibly use Jet Needle with the 1 Beast energy in the deck, and Stinger should never be your GX attack of choice. But overall, Naganadel is just a big Stage 1 GX Pokemon that can 2-shot things for 1 energy, and so with the help of 3 Stakataka GX, overall it gets better. So what does Stakataka do? Stakataka is a 180 HP metal Pokemon that has an ability that says each of your Ultra Beasts takes 10 less damage after applying weakness and resistance. So if there are multiples in play, it does add, or it does take less additionally for each one. It doesn't limit itself to just one. And also on itself. So Stakataka on its own has effectively 190 unless there is a Garbodor or something in play. The other text on the card, it does actually matter for Stakataka though. For 2 metal and a colorless, you can do a flat 120, and then the GX attack, which at one point we get wrong in the video, but I have since been corrected, is 50 plus 50 for each prize that you have taken. So if you've taken 2 prizes, it'll do 150. If you've taken 4 prizes, it'll do 250. And so that's the main way that we want to close out the game. Take a few prizes with Naganadel, and then end the game with a huge Ray GX for the knockout. There's also 2 Tapu Lele GX just for Wonder Tag. They are the only non-Ultra Beast Pokemon in the deck. Probably not going to be using Energy Drive in this deck because there are no double colorless, but just another option to have. But Wonder Tag, just really good to help us get some supporters. Kartana GX, for the same reason that was in the last deck, it is also an Ultra Beast. Slice Off lets you discard an energy card attached to one of your, a special energy card attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So versus things like Zoroark, you can maybe catch them on a turn that you're not going to take a knockout, maybe get rid of the energy and set them up for a 2-shot. We can hypothetically use Blade GX and Gale Blast in this deck, so those are attacks to keep in mind. And then 1 Celesteela. This is a new Pokemon from Celestial Storm. It is a 140 HP basic Ultra Beast Pokemon that has a crazy 1 metal 4 colorless attack that does 160. But if the total number of prizes remaining in the game is 6, you may use the attack for 1 metal energy. So like if you have 4 and your opponent has 2, if your opponent has 3 and you have 3, if it adds up to 6 in any way, this attack costs 1 metal energy. So this is one of those things that it's so it doesn't hurt your deck to play it. You can find it with Ultra Space whenever you need it, and so it's really good whenever you can set up math to work in its favor. So let's talk about the supporters and just a few things that I would change. This is the list that we did in the video. It's 4 Sycamore, 4 Cynthia, and 4 Guzma, just straight 4s on everything. If I were to make some changes for this, I would cut an N for a metal energy, but we'll get to that later. But this was mainly just trying to make sure that we had a consistent deck for the video without Zoroark to trade or anything and no other secondary draw support, and we really don't want to put Lele's in play if we don't have to. This does help us give us plenty of outs to the supporters that we need. So starting off with the items, we have 4 Beast Ring. It's another one of those things that it doesn't hurt your consistency too much to play, and on the turn that you need it to power up a Stakataka, or else you'll never be able to get the Ray GX off to win the game. 3 Max Potions, just because our Naganadel with the ability off of Stakataka will be able to take some big hits. For example, a Rayquaza deck needs, if you have 2 Stakatakas in play, they need 7 energy and a choice band combined, or some other modifiers, so that's really good for you 3 Mysterious Treasure, and I guess we'll talk about the 3 Ultra Space as well. This is our Pokemon search for the deck. The only way to search for Stakataka is Ultra Space, but I think that is, and these Pokemon is fine. Mysterious Treasure is a concession just to needing to get Tapu Lele out of the deck, and I think that's fine. That the 3/3 was never really an issue. If you don't hit a Stakataka turn 1, you're fine because it's a basic, but you do need to get some Poiples down turn 1 so you can get the turn 2 Beast Raid. 3 Floatstone, 2 Choice Band, and 2 Dumbbells. If I would do this again, I would probably cut the Dumbbells also. At least versus Zoroark, which we did in the video, they are very bad because if you have a full board of Ultra Beasts and you have a Dumbbells attached to your active Naganadel, you are only doing 100 damage because of resistance, so you are not making even a 2-shot out of the deal. The 2 Choice Bands are in there for math with Ray GX, so for example, if you're facing like Rayquaza and you've taken 2 prizes, you can use a Choice Band Ray GX to knock out a Rayquaza, which is really good for you to help swing the tempo in your favor. And then lastly, for the trainers, there's 1 Super Rod on top of 8 Metal Energy and 1 Beast Energy. The Beast Energy just as an extra energy, it's no reason not to play it. This deck had way too few energies than I gave it credit for. My logic at first was that Naganadel only attacks for 1 energy, but whenever you're max potioning energies and you're beast ringing energies, that comes at a surprisingly high cost, and if you whiff an energy, it feels really bad. So if I were to change this, I would start by getting rid of the Dumbbells and then maybe a N, and then thinking about whether or not these could be like maybe an energy, a Ultra Space, just because it's a really good card to have, or maybe even like 2 energies and another Ultra Space. But overall, those are just some more changes if I were to continue testing this deck. I do think that this deck is a decent play for Worlds. I haven't tested it versus like Rayquaza and stuff like that yet, but you match up very well versus Buzzwole. You can have a pretty good game versus Zoroark because of the max potions. The control variant that's going around doesn't really affect you too much. And then versus Malamar, if you can probably kind of trade back and forth a little bit with Stakataka. But yeah, overall, this is the deck. I think it's pretty solid. It's consistent. It does what it needs to do. There aren't really any gimmicks to it. I would test it with the changes that I suggested overall. But let me know what your thoughts are on the list in the comment section. If you're playing anything different, tell me what you're doing, and I'll be glad to respond. And make sure to check out our Facebook page, our Patreon, and just all of our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Stay tuned on the page for the Zoroark Magcargo deck profile, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Peace.